Hello, baseball fans. I'm Jeff Snyder, and this is Baseball Boulevard. Baseball Boulevard is my new YouTube channel. There's a lot of really good baseball content on the internet right now. There's also a lot of clickbait content, channels that just regurgitate the content of other channels, and even content that's designed solely to make people argue. My goal for this channel is to basically be the opposite of that. There's plenty of snark on baseball social media. I admit I'm responsible for some of it. I'm sarcastic, I'm not as funny as I sometimes think I am, and I get into baseball arguments with strangers way more often than my wife wishes I did. But here on Baseball Boulevard, the goal is to focus on what brings us all together, our love of baseball. Before I tell you more about myself and this channel, I'd ask that you please like, subscribe, and watch this entire video. Then share it with your friends and family who love baseball. The way YouTube works, I can't start making money on my videos until we hit a certain threshold of viewing hours. So the more people who watch this entire video, the closer we are to getting monetized. And that's important to me because I want to spend my time sharing awesome baseball content with you, and that's easier if I'm making some money on that content. So again, please watch this video to the end, invite your friends and family to watch it too, and like and subscribe. A little more about me and this channel. I'm a Dodger fan. I know the Dodgers are one of the most polarizing teams in baseball, so I hope any of you who hate the Dodgers won't hold that against me. But I'll tell you why I'm a Dodger fan. My dad was a 4-year-old living in Los Angeles when the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to LA. His dad had grown up in Arkansas as a Cardinals fan, but when LA got a team of its own, the Snyders became a Dodger family. 20 years later, I was born into a family that bled Dodger blue. That's my origin story as a baseball fan. But what I love is that you have your own origin story that's every bit as valid as mine. It could be as simple as mine, that you were born into a family that loved a particular team for geographical reasons. Or maybe you're a first-generation baseball fan. Maybe you grew up somewhere that didn't have a major league team, and you picked your favorite team based on the little league team you were on, or the big league affiliate of the local minor league team, or whatever. Here where I live in Utah, a lot of people chose either the Cubs or the Braves because WGN and TBS showed their games nationally when they were growing up. But that's the point. We all love baseball, even if we love different teams and different players. I do a Dodgers podcast 5 days a week, so I watch pretty much every pitch of every Dodger game. But I also watch a lot of other baseball games, and I think there's a lot of really cool things that happen in baseball. I often find myself pointing out little things to my kids or texting my brother about something unique that I noticed. It's not always big momentous things, but that's one of the things I love about baseball. That things don't have to be huge, momentous, and groundbreaking to be cool, to help us appreciate the game even more. I mentioned my kids. I'm the proud father of 3 teenagers, a daughter and 2 sons. Just as I was born into a baseball-loving family, so were they, and just like my siblings and me, my 3 kids have differing levels of obsession with the sport. My 2 sons both spend a lot of time watching baseball content on YouTube, and as a dad, I've sometimes been frustrated by the language and some of the content they've found. My goal here at Baseball Boulevard is to keep things rated PG at worst. I know kids are going to hear bad words elsewhere, but they won't hear them here. This channel isn't made for kids, but I want it to be something the whole family can enjoy together. My belief is that if it was good enough for Vin Scully, it's good enough for me. So if Vin Scully could describe an argument between a manager and an umpire using euphemisms like fertilizer, so can I. I love baseball history, statistics, and cool individual stories. One of the first videos I'm working on is a combination of all of those things. Back in 1979, when I was just a toddler, Cardinals shortstop Gary Templeton became the first player ever to have at least 100 hits from each side of the plate in one season. I grew up knowing about that record in large part because it was mentioned on several of his baseball cards, including one 1980 Topps card specifically about the feat. So I was surprised to discover when I was in my 40s that the modern statistical websites didn't credit Templeton with this feat, saying he had fallen short of the 100-hit mark batting right-handed. I'll have a video telling you all about my path of discovery that culminated in my personal research being the reason that Gary Templeton is once again credited with his historic accomplishment. I've spent the last decade writing and talking about baseball. I owned and operated a website called Baseball Essential for years, although the financial model for that site was basically destroyed by the COVID pandemic, and the site is now under new ownership. Between Baseball Essential and my time writing for Dodgers Nation and Sports Illustrated, I've written thousands of articles about baseball. I've also published over 1,500 podcast episodes talking about baseball in general and the Dodgers specifically. I jokingly refer to baseball as the most important, unimportant thing in my life. If I had to choose between my family and baseball, I'd choose my family in a heartbeat. But put baseball up against any other sport, hobby, or interest, the other unimportant things, baseball is the easy winner. So the videos here on Baseball Boulevard will reflect that love of baseball. I'll have a video about a Hall of Fame manager whose team was eventually named after him, and the story of how before that, he almost lost his job months into his tenure because of a mutiny among his players. I'll talk about statistical oddities. I'll talk about the little things that make watching a baseball game fun. I'll have a video about a crazy game I remember watching as a kid at my grandparents' house when the Dodgers blew a huge lead in the 9th inning. I'll have videos about funny nicknames. Simply put, I'll make videos about the things that increase my love of baseball and make me think, isn't baseball awesome? If that's a sentiment you share, I hope you'll like, subscribe, and join me here at Baseball Boulevard.